welcome everybody to a little different venue for you tonight. We're going to give you the Chisholm Blue Streak swim team against the Princeton Tigers. The Blue Streaks coming in with a dual meet record of 6-2, having a very fine year. And the Princeton Tigers are coached by a former Chisholm alumni, Eric Torkelson. And this is a dual meet, varsity and junior varsity, and we're going to try to get you as much action as we possibly can. And the Blue Streaks are coached by Brian Hake and Bobby Pogue. A little different venue for the Princeton Tigers tonight. They are here as guests of the Blue Streaks. A little different venue for the Princeton Tigers. They're up here for a invitational this evening, or tomorrow I should say, at Mesabi East High School. And Coach Torkelson, as I stated before, is a former Chisholm alum and swimmer, and he wanted his kids to come and see the pool that he swam in, so he arranged a dual meet with Coach Hake, and that brings us here. Our first event of the evening is the junior varsity 160-yard medley relay. Princeton will be swimming in lanes 1 and 3, the Blue Streaks in 2 and 4. For Princeton, you'll have Colin Alfernus, Bradley Gruba, Mac Moinchinen, and Zachary Gruba. For Chisholm, Colin Howard, Brock Erickson, Alex Covisto, and William Bukovich in lane 2. Princeton in lane 3, Connor Osborne, Trent Burke, Nathan Russell, and R. Torkelson. And Chisholm, lane 4, Skurla, Ryan Ullman, and Yukich. 2 lengths of the pool. The leadoff swimmers will swim 2 lengths of the backstroke. Next swimmers will swim 2 lengths of breaststroke, 2 lengths of butterfly, and the final swimmers will finish up with 2 lengths of crawl stroke or freestyle. Your referee for tonight's meet is Jennifer Fleming. She is the varsity coach for the girls swim team. Again, the Blue Streaks are in lanes 2 and 4. Lane 4 is the closest to you. Lane 1 is the farthest from you, which Princeton is in. Colin Howard comes off the wall for the Blue Streaks. And Colin Alfernus for Princeton has a slight lead. Into the wall. And we have our breaststroke leg of the 160-yard medley relay. Brock Erickson swimming for the Blue Streaks in lane 2. Doing a nice job. Brock is a former basketball player turned swimmer, and he's doing a fine job over here. We're coming into the butterfly portion of the event. Alex Covisto and Nathan Russell for Princeton. Russell into the wall first, coming out with a half a body length lead. And Russell stretching the lead a little bit for the Princeton junior varsity. Into the water now is William Bukovich and R. Torkelson, the son of the coach for Princeton. And he's maintaining the lead. Got a full body length lead. Blue Streaks coming up in 3rd place. And Princeton Junior Varsity comes in 1st with a time of 1 minute, 45 seconds, and 44 100ths. followed up by the Blue Streaks in second and third. And the Princeton team of Alfrenas, Gruba, Moinchinen, and Gruba bringing up the rear. Nice event for the Blue Streaks, coming second and third. Next event is the varsity 160-yard medley relay for Princeton in lane 1. Again, that's the farthest lane. That's Witrowski, Swanson, Dustin Moynichin, and Noah Swanson. In lane 2 for the Blue Streaks, Cade Klimek, Anthony Brisky, Zach Skurla, and Skylar Appelman. Lane 3 for Princeton, Johnson, Paplum, Carlberg, and Noam. And in lane 4 for Chisholm, Nick Jordan, Jake Germain, Aaron Fina, and Ian Pulford. Cade Clement coming off the block first, comes into the turn, and on the backstroke they are allowed to switch over to one stroke coming into the turn as if you were doing freestyle. Johnson coming off the wall first. Paplin for Princeton. Anthony Brisky for the Blue Streaks, fine breaststroke swimmer. Made the state tournament last year in the breaststroke. Strong swimmer, Anthony is. Zach Skurla, the butterfly portion of this event. And Princeton has Carlberg. He's into the wall first. They've got to touch with two hands on that turn for the breaststroke and for the butterfly, otherwise it's a disqualification. Chisholm holding a small lead for third place. And Malam for Princeton into the water. Comfortable lead for the Tigers. And Skylar Appelman into the turn for the Blue Streaks. Got a good race going on here for third and fourth place. Blue Streaks into the wall first. Comes off the wall. Slightly behind. Swanson going strong into the wall, and he just edges out Ian Pulford for third place. First place is Princeton with a time of 1 minute 26 seconds and 61 100ths. In a pool of 4 lanes, the top 3 finishers score, and fourth place does not earn any points. Second event for tonight's is the junior varsity 200-yard freestyle. Princeton has Johnson and Lawrence in 1 and 3, and William Bukovich in lane 2 for Chisholm, Alex Quavisto in lane 4. 10 lengths of the pool. Blue Streaks, Brian Hake and Bobby Polk doing a nice job as a team this year. Blue Streaks are at a slight disadvantage than most teams, being that they are still swimming in a pool that is 20 yards, and most of the other pools in the state are 25 yards or larger even. I think Eveleth is the only other pool that has 20 yards. With me tonight is Haley Casey, alumni swimmer for the Blue Streak girls. Hey Haley, you can correct me if you know of another 20-yard pool that we're swimming in.
No, I don't believe I do.
William Bukovich, slight lead for the junior varsity over his teammate, Nick Jordan. After 5 laps, Blue Streaks Junior Varsity in first and second place. Coach Torkelson for Princeton might be juggling his lineup just a little bit today, giving everybody a chance to swim in a 20-yard pool. Bukovich coming into the turn. Jordan with the Blue Streaks, goggleless, I should say. Can be quite difficult in any pool. I don't believe he started in the water without his goggles. Looks like they've slipped around his neck, and it is slowing him down. It's throwing his stroke off a little bit. And the Princeton swimmer is picking up his pace a little bit, Wade Lawrence. And the Blue Streaks junior varsity finishing first with a time of 2 minutes 24 seconds and 51 hundredths. And Princeton coming in second and third, and Jordan finishing up for the Blue Streaks 2 minutes 36 seconds and 91 hundredths. This is the varsity 200-yard freestyle. Lane 1, Herkdahl for Princeton, Lawrence in lane 3, Lance Klimek, and Kevin Weir in lanes 2 and 4 for the Blue Streaks. Both Lance and Kevin coming off strong years, or a strong year for the Blue Streaks. Klimek has had some shoulder problems in the past. Surgery, I believe, in the off season, did he not, Haley?
Yeah.
And he's coming out strong. Three laps into the 10-lap race, he's already opened up probably a good 10-yard lead off of Princeton. Kevin Weir keeping pace with the Princeton swimmer. And Lance Klimek looks like he's on cruise control at this point. Princeton swimmer Lawrence just got a glimpse of Kevin Weir on the side, and looks like he's picked up his pace a little bit. Coming into the turn, Kevin Weir is still staying with them. And Ryan Johnston for Princeton is still staying in the race. Looks like he's kind of on cruise control right now, Haley. I think he realizes that he's opened up a fairly significant lead, and maybe might be saving himself a little bit for future events. Lawrence for Princeton has opened up the distance between himself and Kevin Weir for the Blue Streaks. Still swimming strong though, Kevin is. For Princeton doing a nice job, and Lance Klimek finishing in first place for the Blue Streaks with a time of 2 minutes and 91 hundredths, just a shade off the 2-minute barrier. Lawrence for Princeton in second, and Kevin Weir for the Blue Streaks taking up third. Next event is going to be the 160-yard individual medley, where the swimmers will swim 2 lengths of each stroke. Just slightly different from the medley, really, where the swimmers will start off with the butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. Again, this is the junior varsity. Witrowski and Furman for Princeton, lanes 1 and 3, 2 and 4, Howard and Gearman for the Blue Streaks. Probably one of the tougher events for any swimmer is because you're going to have to be a little proficient in each one of the strokes. Don't get a lot of swimmers volunteering for this event. Furman for Princeton holding a slight edge, going into the backstroke portion of the event. Gearman for Chisholm holding his pace. And Gearman started his turnout just a little early. took his one stroke and realized that he had a little ways to go. Furman off the wall first, coming into his breaststroke, slight lead over his teammate Witrowski. Colin Howard picking up the pace a little bit. Also along with Gearman. Looks like this might be the strong stroke for both Gearman and Howard at the breaststroke, as Howard has significantly shortened the distance between himself and Witrowski. Furman for Princeton comfortably out in front. I don't think he's going to have any problem finishing first, providing his swimsuit doesn't come off, I suppose. Colin Howard has overtaken Witrowski. Colin Howard's got a strong cross-stroke too, Haley. Nice job by Colin Howard. Furman in first place for the Tigers, 2 minutes, 1 second, and 61 hundredths. Followed up by Howard and Witrowski, and Gearman finishing up for the Blue Streaks. Varsity 160-yard IM. Anderson in 1, Paplin in lane 3, Eric Van Loo for Chisholm in lane 2, Zach Skurla in lane 4. I've noticed that some of the Princeton team members are sporting the Mohawks lately. I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but both of their IMers are sporting the Mohawk. Paplin for Princeton, coming off the wall first. Big kid. Going into the backstroke. Van Loo coming off the wall in second, with Skurla slight edge over Anderson. Eric Van Loo has a nice backstroke. Haley seems to be real comfortable with it. Eric's he's got the prototypical backstroke physique, tall and lanky looking. Paplin still holding a comfortable lead for the Tigers, and Van Loo now stretching his lead over Skurla and Anderson. Van Loo closing the distance a little bit on Paplin. I'm not sure if Paplin knows that he's where he's at, but he has picked up the pace for the final length of the event.
Goes a lot of distance between the two of them.
Eric Van Loo finishing up strong. Paplin in first with a time of 1 minute, 47 seconds, and 43 100ths, followed up by Van Loo, Skurla, and Anderson. Up next, we got the 60-yard freestyle for the junior varsity. This one could throw the Princeton Tigers for a loop a little bit. In most pools, the 25-yard pools, it is a two-length event. However, in Chisholm's pool, it's 60 yards, which is 3 lengths. Skylar Appleman for the Blue Streaks, and Ian Pulford in lanes 2 and 4, finishing up very strong. Appleman finishing in a time of 32 seconds and 51 hundredths. Pulford in second, 34 seconds, 7 100ths, followed up by Princeton, third and fourth. Coming up is the varsity 60-yard freestyle. Lane 1 for Princeton, Milan. Lane 2 for Chisholm, Hake. Lane 3, Princeton, Johnson. And lane 4, Brisky for Chisholm. Looks like Coach Hake is stacking this event a little bit. Feels as though he might be able to get some points here. Johnson coming off the wall first, however, Patrick Hake staying with him very close, along with Brisky. Brewster's pushing him. Hake with a nice job. Johnson finishing first, 27 seconds, 75 100ths. Hake 28 seconds, 52 100ths in second. And Brisky in third, 30 seconds, 26 100ths. Princeton 16, Chisholm 18 on the junior varsity. And in the varsity, the current score is Princeton 18 and Chisholm 16, just reversed. Our next event is the junior varsity 100-yard butterfly. For Princeton, lane 1, Russell. Lane 3, Moynihan. And Chisholm, Ullman in lane 2. Both teams opted not to have diving, which is usually the event that is after the 60-yard freestyle and in between the 100-yard butterfly. I'm not quite sure. A lot of times the junior varsity usually only does a 60-yard butterfly. Announcer Vern Manor wasn't quite clear if that's where we're going. And Princeton, Russell and Moynihan. Comfortable leads over Ullman. One of the more difficult strokes. It's pretty much a double-fisted freestyle, and they are going to go the 100 yards. Russell in lane 1 with a slight edge over Moynihan of Princeton. Actually, Russell seems to be getting stronger as the race goes along. Again, some things that you have to watch for in the butterfly and the breaststroke is that they are touching the ends of the pool on their turns with both hands. That's one of the things referee Fleming is looking for. And Russell finishing in a time of 1 minute 16 seconds and 53 100ths. Moynihan in second, just about a second and a half behind that. And Ullman for Chisholm finishing up. And a nice job by Mr. Ullman, one of the younger team members. Now we've got the 100-yard varsity butterfly for Princeton in lane 1. Dustin Moynihan. Lane 3, Luke Pepham. Lane 2 for Chisholm, Aaron Fina. And lane 4, Nick Jordan for Chisholm. These four boys will pick up the pace quite a bit. Pavelham for Princeton coming out strong off the block and into the turn. Is already a length and a half into the race. Has opened up probably a 5-yard lead over the Chisholm swimmers. His teammate Dustin Moynihan closely behind. Aaron Fina and Nick Jordan keeping pace with each other. Both doing a fine job. Papelham coming in on the final leg of the 100-yard freestyle. And Moynihan coming in second. Papelham in first with a time of 1 minute, 1 second, 76/100ths. And Moynihan 1 minute, 6 seconds and 26/100ths. Jordan and Fina very close to each other. And it looks as though that Nick Jordan just edged out Aaron Fina for third place with the 1 minute, 17 seconds and 60/100ths. The next event is the 100-yard freestyle, which is the 100-yard crawl stroke for the junior varsity. Hercall in 1, Swanson in 3 for Princeton. For Chisholm, Colin Howard in 2, Jade Yukich in 4. Referee Fleming asking for quiet at the start, trying to make it an even start for the swimmers. Swanson with a slight lead over Howard. Howard and Hercall keeping pace with each other there. Colin coming off the wall with a slight lead, maybe about yard or so. And Hercall pushing Howard now. And Howard picking up the pace on Swanson. Swanson in first place with time of 1 minute, 24/100ths. Second is Howard. Third is Hercall. And fourth is Jade Yukich. Nice times for the Blue Streaks. This is the time of year Coach Hake and Coach Pogue are lightening up the yardage during practice and giving them a little more rest in between intervals. Hake and Klimek for Chisholm, Kreft and Johnson for Princeton, Klimek in 2, Hake in 4. Hake and Johnson coming off the wall together, and Klimek is right with them. Got a good race going on here. Chisholm swimmers coming in the wall together. It looks like Hake has got a slight lead.
It's going to be a close race.
And Johnson opening up just about a half a body length here. Hake really nailing his turn there. Johnson from Princeton coming in first with a time of 50 seconds and 78/100ths. Second is Patrick Hake, 51:90, and Lance Klimek, 53 seconds even. Very nice time by Nicholas Johnson, also by Lance Klimek and Patrick Hake. Very nice. Next event is the 300-yard I'm not sure, Haley, are the junior varsity going 300 or 500
They're doing
yards?
300.
300-yard freestyle for the junior varsity. Gruba for Princeton in lane 1. Zachary Gruba, Bradley Gruba in lane 3. And for Chisholm, William Bukovich. Bukovich for Chisholm, the junior varsity, has opened up a sizable lead after only 2.5 lengths here. Bukovich been working on his stroke quite a bit in the past several months with Coach Hake. Looks like he's got things going together. The Grubas for Princeton are maintaining pace with each other. We've got 100 yards finished in the 300-yard freestyle. William Bukovich with the lead. And we've got 11 lengths finished here with William Bukovich. Sizable lead. He has lapped both of the Princeton swimmers. Coming up on length 13 of this race. Bukovich got a nice, comfortable stroke going. Nice and easy. And the Princeton swimmers are maintaining their pace. Bradley Gruba for Princeton maintaining his lead over, I'm assuming to be his brother, Zachary Gruba. Looks as though, Haley, it looks like they are doing 500 yards.
Oh, I guess I was wrong.
William Bukovich coming in on his 17th length. And he has now surpassed the Princeton swimmer, lapped him a second time. I don't think there's much concern for Mr. Bukovich in this race. And we'll pick it up. And picking up the race again in lap number, or length number 23 of this junior varsity 500-yard freestyle. Chisholm swimmer Bukovich has been given the 2-length warning where the referee usually gives the lead swimmer with 2 laps remaining in the longer event. And again, Bukovich swimming a nice race here. He is going to take first in this event for the junior varsity with a time of 6 minutes, 35 seconds, and 62 1/100ths. In second place is Bradley Gruba for the Princeton Tigers. And Zachary Gruba finishing up third. Next event is the 500-yard freestyle for the varsity. Swimming in lane 1 for Princeton is Torkelson. Lane 3, Anderson. Lane 2, Chisholm. Cade Clement. Lane 4, Kevin Weird. Again, 25 lengths of the pool. Princeton swimmer sporting a nice mohawk. Chisholm, Kate Klimek in lane 2 and Kevin Weird in lane 4. Cade, the younger brother of Lance Klimek. Lance Klimek being the only senior on the Ryan Hakes swim team. Should have a strong team next year, I believe. Three lengths of the race finishing, and Cade Klimek has about a half a body lengths lead over Anderson of Princeton, and Kevin Weird about a body length behind Anderson. One race at the high school level, this is the longest race at the high school level, that you got to make sure that you don't take it out too fast. Maintain a nice pace for themselves. You take this race out too fast, and all of a sudden, with about 100 yards to go, your legs get a little heavy and your arms get a little heavy, and before you know it, the swimmer you thought you were going to beat is right next to you, because he took it out slower and started it very slower, took it at an even pace. Kate Klimek looking good for the Blue Streaks. Anderson for Princeton looking strong, along with Kevin Weird. Kevin has got a strong stroke. And we'll pick up the race about lap 15. Cade Klimek finishing up length number 21 of this 25 length race. He has lapped one of the Princeton swimmers. Still in second place though is for Princeton is Anderson, and Kevin Weird is maintaining his pace with Anderson of Princeton, and I believe that Kevin might close that gap a little bit. There is the cowbell signifying 2 lengths to go for the leader, and Cade is looking very strong. Anderson now has 2 lengths left, as does Kevin Weird. Cade trying to break the 6-minute mark. Unfortunately, he's not going to do it this time. He does come in first with a time of 6 minutes, 2 seconds, and 41 hundredths. Anderson finishing up for Princeton in second place. He finished strong, 6 minutes, 14 seconds, and 27 hundredths. And Kevin Weird is going to finish in third with a time of 6:22.10. Nice swim by both of the Chisholm swimmers, along with Anderson for Princeton. Next event is the junior varsity 160-yard freestyle relay. And this is just exactly what it is. 4 swimmers from each team swimming 2 lengths of the pool. Princeton in lane 1 and 3, Chisholm in lane 2 and 4. For Chisholm, we've got Gierman, Cardisto, Fina, and Yukich in lane 2. Holman, Skurla, Erickson, and Bryan in lane 4. Getting 2 lengths of the pool for each swimmer. Chisholm holding a slight lead over Princeton's Levi Swanson. And into the pool now is Corvisto for Chisholm. And a nice start by Corvisto. The young man's got a very nice stroke. Very smooth. And he's opened up a half a body length lead over Johnson for Princeton. Josh Skurla in the pool for the Blue Streaks in lane 4. Ready to hand it off, so to speak, to Brock Erickson. Brock is a freshman, and this is his first year on the team, and he's doing a fine job. Blue Streaks Junior Varsity has opened up the lead. Fina stretching the lead for the Blue Streaks a little bit. Final length of this relay is Jade Jukic in the water. And Nicholas Johnson for Princeton in lane 4. He has closed the gap. And Jade's going to have to pick it up here just a little bit. And he just edges out the Princeton swimmer. Chisholm coming in first with a time of 1 minute 32 seconds and 12/100ths. And beating the Princeton team by 0.2 of a second. Chisholm Junior Varsity coming in third. That is the team of Ullman, Josh Skurla, Brock Erickson, and Jack Bryan. Up next is the varsity 160-yard freestyle relay. Princeton's got Carlberg, Lawrence, Swanson, and Moynihan. Lane 3, Kreft, Papillon, Milan, and Johnson. Lane 2 for Chisholm, Hake, Van Loo, Brisky, and Lance Clement. Lane 4, Zach Skurla, Ian Pulford, Skylar Appleman, and Kevin Weir. This race goes fairly quick. It's an all-out sprint. There's no pacing yourself in this race. Good start by both Chisholm relay teams. Chisholm comes out of the turn first, and that is Patrick Hake. Closely followed by Ryan Kreft of Princeton. Hake ready to hand it off to Eric Van Loo. Eric with a nice start, and it looks like Princeton has just about tied it up here by Papillon. And I'm going to get that name right yet. Anthony Brisky now in the water for the Blue Streaks, and Milam for Princeton. Got a good race going here. Anthony Brisky trying to stretch it out just a little bit. Handing it off to Lance Clement. Lance is in the water. And Nicholas Johnson virtually coming off the wall together. This is going to be a close one. And it looks as though that the Princeton team just edged out Chisholm for first. In the time of 1 minute 14 seconds and 65/100ths, edging Chisholm by 0.3 of a second. And the Princeton Tigers taking first and third in that event. Next event is the junior varsity 100-yard backstroke, and that's exactly what it is 5 lengths of the pool going the backstroke, and the swimmers actually start in the water and not off the blocks. Referee Fleming instructing the swimmers to enter the pool. Swimming for Chisholm, Alex Corvisto and Josh Skurla. Lanes 2 and 4, and for Princeton, Connor Osborne and Wade Lawrence, and 1 and 3 respectively. Alex Corvisto for Chisholm, slightly behind at this time. Both Princeton swimmers swimming well. Connor Osborne for Princeton holding a slight lead over his teammate. And his teammate and Coivisto seem to be just about dead even. And again, in the backstroke, they are allowed to turn over as they are entering the wall and take one stroke of the freestyle to enter into their turn. Or one stroke of the crawl stroke. The one advantage about being in the 20-yard pool for the Chisholm swimmers, and I'll say the Evelyn swimmers also, is they perform flip turns or turns of any sort on a more frequent basis than teams that are practicing in a 25-yard pool. And that is a big advantage in some of these sprint races. Coivisto coming in first for the JV, 122.67. And Princeton coming in second and third. And Josh Skurla in fourth place for the Blue Streaks Junior Varsity. Varsity 100-yard backstroke for Princeton, Alphanus in lane 1, Witrowski in lane 3, and lane 2. Chisholm swimmers with a slight edge coming into the first turn. Used to be Kate Clement in lane 2. Again, Chisholm holding a slight lead, first and second. Coming into the third turn. Okay, nice pickup of about 7 points, I believe. We're taking first and second in a two-man event. That could be wrong. Finishing with a time of 1 minute and 9 seconds even. And that is Kate Clement. Chisholm taking 1-2 in this event. Princeton in third and fourth. Again, that's a nice pickup for the Blue Streaks. And we're going to see if we can get a score here for you. Next event is the 100-yard breaststroke for the junior varsity. Jake Gearman and Brock Erickson for the Blue Streaks, along with Burke and Johnson for the Princeton Tigers. Brock Erickson in lane 4 for the Blue Streaks. Jake Gearman in lane 2. Blue Streaks holding a slight lead off the first turn. Again, they have to hit that wall with both hands, otherwise they could get disqualified.
They're also only allowed 1.5 pulls underwater for disqualification.
Princeton swimmer in lane 1 is picking up the pace, catching Gearman. Gearman and Erickson for the Blue Streak still holding a slight edge. But the Princeton swimmer picking it up. And Gearman taking first with a nice time of 1 minute 20 seconds and 91 hundredths, followed by Brock Erickson in second with a minute 21 seconds 94 hundredths, followed up by the Princeton swimmers in third and fourth. Up next, we've got the varsity 100-yard breaststroke. For Princeton, lane 1, Furman, lane 3, Lawrence, lane 2 for Chisholm is Brisky, and lane 4 is Eric Van Loo. Again, Brisky is a state participant last year in the 100-yard breaststroke. Referee Fleming instructing some of the swimmers. As Haley stated, they're allowed 1.5 strokes underwater. Otherwise, it is a disqualification. Van Loo and Brisky off to an early lead for the Blue Streaks. Princeton swimmers keeping pace with themselves. Looking very strong, Haley. It looks like it's almost effortless for him at this point. Eric Van Loo also doing a nice job. Comfortable leads for both Chisholm swimmers. First place with a time of 1 minute 4 seconds and 94 hundredths. That might be his best time of the year. Van Loo coming in second, 1 minute 10 seconds flat. And the Princeton swimmers finishing up third and fourth. We now have the final event of tonight's meet. That is the junior varsity 400-yard freestyle relay. 4 swimmers swimming 5 lengths of the pool apiece. And in our pool, Chisholm's pool, we kind of split the teams up. 2 will be on the far end and the other 2 will be on our near end here. Chisholm in lane 2 is Howard, Fina, Bukovich, and Weird. And in lane 4, Omen, Josh Kurla, Jack Bryan, and Jade Yukich. Again, each swimmer is swimming 5 lengths of the pool. For the Blue Streaks in lane 2, opening up a lead. And Cody Ullman for Chisholm, keeping pace with the Princeton Junior Varsity #1 team. ready to hand it off to Zach, to Aaron Fina. Aaron's father's former swimmer. Sometimes you kind of wonder how that happens. Aaron Fina in lane 2, maintaining the lead for the Blue Streaks Junior Varsity. Josh Skurla for relay team number 2 on the JV is keeping pace with the Princeton number 1 team. He hasn't lost any ground, which is always good. Into the water now for the Blue Streaks is William Bukovich, swimming the third leg. Bukovich working real hard on his stroke this year, and you can see the improvement in it, Haley.
Yep.
However, as I stated earlier in the meet, it is that time of the year where Coach Hake is starting to reduce the yardage a little bit, giving them a little more rest. This time of the year, you've got tired arms, sore shoulders, and at times legs that feel like they're lead weights.
Or as we called it, taper.
Kevin Weird now in the pool for team 1. And we're going to pick it up in the last swimmer. We're running out of tape time here, unfortunately. And Kevin Weird finishing up for the Blue Streaks Junior Varsity in first place, time of 4 minutes 27 seconds and 19/100ths. Princeton team number 1 in second. And Chisholm team, Junior Varsity team number 2 is taking up third. Coming into the varsity final event, only 2 points separating these teams. And I apologize for the video right now. We had to switch out tapes for you. Blue Streaks holding a slight lead over the Princeton Tigers. And again, our apologies for the technical difficulties. Chisholm number 1 relay is in lane 2. For Chisholm, you've got Hake, Zach Skurla, Eric Van Leer, and Lance Clement in lane 2. We got Ian Polford, Nick Jordan, Cade Clement, and Skylar Appleman in lane 4. Blue Streaks holding a good lead at the start of this event. Again, it is 5 lengths of the pool for each swimmer for a total of 400 yards. And being that there is only a couple points separating the teams, it is important who's going to take second and third here. Zach Skurler in the pool for Chisholm number 1 in lane 2. And Nick Jordan in lane 4. Jordan holding a slight edge over the Princeton number 2 team. That is probably going to be the race that we're going to need to watch here. Looks like Chisholm number 1 in lane 2 is holding a comfortable lead so far after two swimmers. Coming up now for the Blue Streaks, it looks like Eric Van Loo. Into the pool for Chisholm number 2 really is Cade Clement. Cade holding about a body length lead over the Princeton number 2 team. Eric Van Loo with the comfortable lead over Princeton. About a half a pool, 10 yards. And the anchor leg of this relay team is Lance Clement. And Lance is in the water. Again, they've got a half a pool length lead. And Kate Clement has opened up just a little further lead on Princeton's team. Into the pool is Skylar Appleman for team number 2. Coach Pogue and Coach Haig encouraging Appleman to keep up the pace. Looks like they're going to need this one. Lance Clement has lapped Princeton number 2. Like the Blue Streaks are going to come in first with a time of 3:41.87. 3 minutes, 41 seconds, 87 100ths. Princeton is going to take second. And Blue Streaks number 2, the team of Holford, Jordan, Cade Clement, and Skylar Appleman will take third. And that is going to finish it up. I believe the Blue Streaks have eked out a win over the Princeton Tigers. It's a nice meet for the Blue Streaks, seeing a different team. We won't call them a Metro team, however, they are down that way around the Cambridge area. The junior varsity has won 51-43. And the varsity has beaten Princeton 50-44. That's a nice meet and a nice win for Coach Hake and Coach Pogue. They're having a strong year. I think they are partaking in an invitational tomorrow at Mesabi East High School. And for Haley Casey, I am Mark Casey at Blue Streak Swimming. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Have a good evening.